What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with tips, tricks, and hidden features for the Nokia G400 5G. So stay tuned if you want to get the most out of your device. Now, the first thing I want to show you is how to get a battery percentage in the upper right corner here on the phone. So as you can see, by default, we do have the battery icon, but there is no percentage. So that's definitely nice to have so that you know precisely how much battery is remaining on the device. So to get to this, you're going to pull down the shade. Then from here, go to the gear icon, which will take you over to the settings. Then from there, go to search, type in battery, and let that load. And you'll see right there, battery percentage. So go there, and then you'll see right here, you can toggle that on. So now, the battery percentage is enabled, and you can see it there in the upper right corner. And it doesn't matter where you are throughout the operating system, it will be there. Then from here, we can go back over to that battery menu area, and you'll find some other interesting options. So the first one here is battery saver. So this will turn on once the phone is at 20%. That's definitely a nice way to get the most out of the battery on your device, but it will cut out some various background tasks, so you won't be able to get the full experience that you typically get when not in battery saver mode. But we'll enable that right now. And you can see right here, battery saver will indeed restrict various power consuming activities, but we can turn that on and enable that. And you can see immediately it does dim down the screen a little bit. Now, in addition to that, there's another option called super battery saver. So let's give that a try. And you can see with that, it'll even further restrict various functionalities of the device. So you can only do the most basic functionalities. But again, this could be very useful if you find yourself not having access to the ability to recharge your phone, but at the same time, you need the phone to last for a long time. So two different options there if you happen to run into your battery almost being depleted. And in addition to that, you can also set a schedule. Now moving on to the next thing that I want to show you, with the Nokia G400 5G, this device does have a 120 Hz refresh rate for the display. And that's definitely a really nice thing to see, and honestly a bit of a surprise considering this phone is meant for the budget segment. Now unfortunately though, the 120 Hz is not enabled by default. The device actually runs at 60 Hz by default. So let me show you how to enable the full 120 Hz. So you're going to pull down the shade once again, go to the settings. This time though, go to display. Then from here, go down to where it says screen refresh rate. And you can see by default, it is set to the standard 60 Hz. So what you'll want to do is switch things over to adaptive. And with that enabled, you'll get a much smoother experience when navigating around the phone. And it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but it is a lot smoother here. So that's how you get the full 120 Hz. Now heading back over to the display options, there are some other things that could come in handy here. So one of them that you can see here is the ability to adjust the screen timeout. Now I did set this to 30 minutes because I've been making a lot of videos about this phone, and I believe the default is 1 minute, but it's possible that you might want the screen to turn off faster than it is by default. So you can choose 15 seconds or 30 seconds, or you can extend it a little bit further out. So I recommend definitely trying out some different screen out times. Also, in addition to that, we have dark theme. So you can enable that and have things be a lot darker here. That especially comes in handy if you are in a movie theater, that's for sure. You can also adjust the font size, display size as well. So if you want your various icons and various things within the actual operating system to be larger, you can make that modification right here. So I definitely recommend trying out some various things here related to the display. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to take a screenshot with the Nokia G400 5G. Now there are two different methods to achieve this. Now the first way to take a screenshot is to hold down the volume down and power button for about a second. And you can see just like that, it took the screenshot. Then from there, you can share it or edit it. But another way to take a screenshot is to simply swipe partially up here to go to your recent apps. And you'll see an option right there that says screenshot. So if you tap on that, it also will take a screenshot, and you have those same sharing and editing options. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to enable split screen with the Nokia G400 5G. So what you want to do is have the two apps that you want to do in split screen already running in the background. So just make sure to kind of pull those up and have them here. Then choose your first app, which I'll do YouTube. Hold down on the logo, and you can see right here it says split screen. So go there, and then from there you can choose the second app. So I have Chrome, so I'm going to choose this window right here. And you can see just like that, it does split things. Now, if you want to, you can have one app be larger than another. So you can simply drag it like this. And now you can see with the video up here playing, and then down here, we have the article. So I can read this article while watching a video at the same time. And then to get out of this, you simply drag this middle bar all the way for whichever app you want to take completely over. So in this situation, I want Chrome to take over, so I'll swipe all the way up, and then there we go, we're now out of split screen. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to mute touch sounds here on the device. Now you might have not even noticed that this is a thing on this phone, but you can kind of notice it. So when you tap on an app icon, for example, you'll hear a sound. So let me try it right now. So you might have heard that little tap. We'll try it one more time. So it's not a very loud sound, but at the same time, it does make a sound. So you can simply pull down the shade here, go to the settings, go to search, type in touch sounds, and let that load. And you'll see it right there. So go there, and then from here, you can mute touch sounds. So now you won't hear that sound when you're tapping on an app icon, which I personally prefer. The next feature I want to show you is called app pinning. So essentially with app pinning, you have to set a password to leave a certain app. Now, there are definitely quite a few situations where this could come in handy. For example, maybe you have a business where you want a certain web page to stay up or a certain app to stay up on the phone, and you don't want people going into the phone and just doing a variety of different things. Or maybe you're handing someone the phone to do a certain function, and you don't want them to suddenly just take over and start going into your other apps. So essentially with this, you pull down the shade to access that as well. Go to search, type in app pinning, and you can see right there app pinning. So go there and then go here, and then you go to use app pinning. So you can see app pinning allows you to keep the current app in view until you unpin it. So we'll give that a try. So from here, we'll go to OK. So let's now give this a try. So now with it enabled, we can go to an app of our choice that we want to pin. So I'm going to pin Google Chrome. So essentially, you're going to swipe partially up, and you'll see the icon right there. Hold down on the icon, and you'll see an option that says pin. Go to pin, and again, you can see this keeps it in view until you unpin. So we'll go to got it. So again, now that I'm in app pinning, I literally cannot get out of the app at all. Now, if I do want to get out of the app, you actually just swipe up and hold for a second there. It'll take you to your lock screen, and then put in your pin code, and we're now out of app pinning. Now the next thing I want to show you is the gestures menu. There's a lot of interesting things there, so let's get started. So we'll pull down the shade here, go to the settings, go to search, type in gestures, and go there. Then go to gestures once again, and you'll see quite a few different options. Now the first option here is called jump to camera, and this is already enabled by default. But essentially with that, all you have to do is double press on the power button, and it doesn't matter where you are throughout the operating system, the phone will take you over to the camera app right away. So that's a really quick, easy, and convenient toggle to get to that point. But let's go back and take a look at some of the other options here as well. Now another one here is system navigation. So by default, with this device, we do get gesture-based navigation. So swipe up to go home, swipe partially up to go to your recent apps, and then swipe from the side to go back. Now, if you want the traditional 3-button Android navigation, you can indeed get that here with this phone. So just go to System Navigation right here, and then go to the 3 buttons instead, and then you'll see that the phone immediately switches over to the traditional 3-button navigation. So the middle button here takes us home, the button on the right takes us to our recent apps, and then the back button takes us back. So that's pretty awesome. Now, I definitely recommend trying out both navigation options here because you might be used to one and not so used to the other. So definitely give both a try, that's for sure. But I know that for the most part, this does come down to personal preference. Now also in this gesture menu, there's a few other things that might be worthwhile to you. This one right here is turn over to reject call. So if you have a call coming in and you know you don't want to answer that call, you can just put the phone face down and it will reject the call. So that's pretty cool. Another one here is mute on pickup. So when a phone call comes in, pick up to mute ringtone while the phone is placed horizontally. So that's kind of interesting too. Another option here is double tap to check phone. Now I think this one is definitely one that you'll want to enable. So let's give that a try. So essentially now with that enabled, when the phone is asleep, but you want to check the various notifications on the lock screen, all you have to do is just double tap on the display itself, and it will show the lock screen here. I'm honestly not sure why that's not enabled by default as it is, as I feel like that's a feature that people might assume this phone just doesn't have because it's not already enabled. And then this one's pretty cool as well, lift to check phone. So essentially with that, if you just lift up the phone, it will show you the various notifications and all that other stuff on the lock screen itself. But this concludes my video on tips, tricks, and hidden features for the Nokia G400 5G. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it to be helpful, and if you did, definitely give this video a thumbs up. But let me know what you think of the phone and everything that I showed you here in the video, and with all that said, I will see you in the next one. So thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day.